in Japan, so we gotta go on this side of the road. Let me make sure. Okay. Whoa. I decided I don't know, make a update, vlog, video type thing. Especially as kind of a follow-up to the last one I made 2 months ago, that I titled Dystopia. And, as I just drive through this awesome VR chat world that I've never been to before, I'm reminded just how much I really love VR. And that might sound a little silly coming from me, because everyone knows I love VR. Everyone knows I work in VR. But truth is, I've totally been going through an identity crisis. Tonight I went through my bio and I removed references to the fact that I work in the industry, at least for now. Because the truth is, I don't know. I took pride in being this VR industry expert in VR chat for the last 3+ years. And I cared so much about meeting the right people. I felt like I had something to prove. But truth is, I gotta do what makes me happy. And what makes me happy is shit like this right now. Or being in a movie world and watching movies with Jones on a random weeknight. That's what brings me happiness. Not impressing people or trying to prove myself. I was always Mr. Meta. Kind of drink a little tiny bit of the Tech Bro Kool-Aid. Just a tad bit. But, forgive me for not knowing what to say. I forget, and I think I really, really forgot that the reason I joined VR chat in the first place was because the world was not doing okay. I joined VR chat during the quarantine days, the COVID days of 2021. And now we're kind of back to another awful phase of the world and recent history with the whole descent into fascist dystopia thing. And I do gotta say, it's a little sour on me that my 20th birthday had the shadow of COVID lockdowns about to happen, lingering over it, in March 2020. And now this birthday has the collapse of America as we know it as the thing that is overshadowing my birthday. Well, oops. Ooh! I'm just trying to figure myself out right now, really. That's really all it comes down to. Because Meta crushed my dreams. I loved working there. I mean, I still work there, but I don't love working there anymore. I'm in golden handcuffs. But, at the same time, I trust God that I'm exactly where I need to be right now in this moment. And hey, maybe now that I've completed another year of my life, another big cycle, now that I finally shed so much of the things that were holding me back, I've frankly been doing great with my OCD therapy. And if I think about it, I'm doing so much better with my OCD than I was even a year ago. And that's because of hard work. Really, 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 really hard work. OCD is considered one of the hardest to treat mental health conditions. It's very resistant to change. By the way, I ought to mention now, my OCD is a big part of why I have been feeling so weird about coming in a VR chat. Because not only was I overwhelmed and insecure at this persona of me that I was projecting, but truth be told, one of my biggest flaws is that I am a sucker for nostalgia. And I really mean that. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm a sucker for that shit, and it's unhealthy in a lot of ways. Combine the autistic mind with the OCD mind with the rapid rate of change, both in my personal life and in the world and within VR as a whole. What you get is someone terrified to put on the fucking headset. And I know that sounds stupid, but even right now, the only reason I'm able to play VR at this moment is because I'm using my Valve Index. And honestly, for the first time in God knows how long, I decided I don't give a shit about using the headset that I work on at work. I decided I don't give a shit about the eye and face tracking. I don't give a shit about using the Absol avatar. I just wanted to be myself. Okay, what the fuck's going on here? Bitch, what the fuck? Okay. Um. Feels like I'm finally breaking free of a lot of chains. Finally, I've stood up to the people who have hurt me. My life's nothing like it was a year ago. A year ago, I lived in my hometown in the suburbs of the Bay Area, in Concord, California. I lived in my very childhood neighborhood, literally 300 feet from my childhood home. And I lived with my childhood best friends and their little kiddo. I had a godmother, a mother figure in my life. A nephew figure in the form of, their kiddo, who really was like a nephew to me. I'd always heard Abby tell me how much she loved watching me grow up as I was a little one, and I really thought I'd get to have that with him, but I lost that. And I lost my cats. I lost my godmother. I lost all my childhood best friends, basically. At least the ones that are local to the Bay Area. And I moved beyond the hills. Over to inner city Oakland, California. It's been a really, really, very, very difficult adjustment for me. I'm a sucker for familiarity and routine. It's weird, right? I'm such a novelty seeker, but at the same time, I'm also a sucker for familiarity. You'd think it's contradictory, but somehow I'm both. I'm finally getting my health under control. Like, finally. And that definitely is a huge reason why I wasn't able to come into VR chat so much within the last year or so, especially since the summertime. My health issues stopped me from going to not one, but 2 conventions in a row. My first IRL furry conventions they were supposed to be, and I missed them both. And I've been real distraught lately, finally feeling emotions that I kind of buried down deep. Now that I'm in this soul-searching identity crisis, now that I'm no longer Mr. Meta. My dreams were getting crushed in that regard. I've decided one thing I really need and want. I need to get to my Mecca. As retarded as it might sound, Anthrocon or Midwest Fur Fest, that's my Mecca. I have euphoric dreams about finally getting to go to these conventions, being surrounded by my people. And I'm not just talking about furries, but the queers, the techies, the trans, everything. Because truth is, life is lonely. Anyways, I guess the entire point of me making this rambling video of me driving on a random highway in VR chat was to basically say that I'm still here. Somehow I haven't lost my mind to the insane shit going on. And I think more than ever, I'm shedding. I think I've finally completed a long, long cycle of shedding a lot of aspects of me that were inauthentic. Not that I was an inauthentic person, but I think this is a fresh start for me. I really do. You know what these tunnels remind me of, actually? They remind me of the Caldecott tunnels here in... they connect the inner urban area of the Bay Area to suburban. They go underneath the Oakland Hills. And these are very, very similar to it. I'm glad that I've finally stood up for myself and my boundaries. That I've only allowed in my life the people I genuinely want in my life. And, you know, here's to being 25. And here's to me being balls deep in my feels and grieving loss while still doing this new fresh start. Alright, I guess to end the video off, I'm just gonna... Whee!